When I first started my gym journey, I was super motivated and going to the gym wasn't really an issue. However, after training consistently for a long period of time, it got to the point where I kind of burnt out and it wasn't that enjoyable for me anymore. And a lot of it was because I was avoiding some of the things which I'm going to mention in this video, which really helped me to actually gain that motivation back and to just make working out, going to the gym, doing cardio just so much more enjoyable. And it was just a process and a system which I could stick to long term. Because if it's not sustainable and it's not something which you really enjoy doing, then eventually you're just going to burn out. And even though you might be motivated right now, in the long term, it's going to lead to you being stagnant and just skipping the tasks which you need to do to get into shape. And it's just going to lead to you really missing out on a lot of progress. So in this video, I'll go over some really key steps which I've implemented, which just really makes working out, going to the gym, so much more enjoyable so you can stick to it long term. So the first point is to train a lot less. This is a mistake I made for years when I used to train 5, 6, sometimes even 7 days per week. And I used to be in the gym for an hour to an hour and a half each time. And the reason why this is so bad is because I just ended up dreading going to the gym. And it was something which I felt like I had to just get done. It was something I had to tick off for the day. Whereas I wasn't actually making progress and I wasn't actually enjoying going to the gym and it just wasn't fun for me to train anymore. And this eventually led to me burning out. Because if you think about it, value and scarcity are linked to each other. This is why things like diamonds and gold are so valuable, because there's so few of them and they're so scarce, which is therefore going to increase their value. So this is the exact same way that it works with going to the gym. If you're constantly going to the gym every single day, eventually you're going to burn out and you're not going to appreciate going to the gym anymore. It's not going to feel fun, you're not going to enjoy it, and you're just taking the joy out of training. Whereas I found that when I cut back from these long gym sessions and just did 3 solid 45-minute sessions per week, I found that for me personally, it was just so much more enjoyable and I would constantly look forward to training. And this just meant that my performance in the gym went up. I was more excited, more motivated, and overall when I was training, it was just a lot more fun and enjoyable for me because I was only doing it 3 days a week. So I felt like it was something which I could always look forward to and I would always enjoy doing. So if you're training too much currently, I highly recommend cutting this back to like 3 days per week or maybe 4 days maximum, which is what I did. And you'll find that once you do this, your gym sessions just become a lot more enjoyable and it's something you can actually look forward to. So my next point is to just set goals in the gym. When you're training, you should be training with intention and you should have a PR in mind of a weight for how many amount of reps that you want to hit on virtually all of your exercises you're going to do before you step into the gym. This just makes it so much more enjoyable because it gives you something to level up in, which is therefore going to improve your motivation to actually go and train. So who do you think is going to stick to the gym consistently and make more progress over time? The person who just goes in because they feel like they have to gym for the day to feel productive, or the person who actually has a set goal and a set reason for why they're gymming and exactly what they want to achieve in the gym? It's obviously going to be the second person who has those goals laid out, who actually knows exactly what they want to do and what they want to hit in the gym, and they train with intention. This is why video games are really quite addictive for a lot of people. It's because of that leveling up you can do in the video games, where you level up your character and your skill levels. This is the exact same thing with the gym. If you want it to be something which is addictive, which you can look forward to and actually enjoy training, then make sure that when you're gymming, you actively are setting goals for PRs that you want to hit on these key lifts, which are going to give you the physique that you want, and then go in there and train with intention to try and hit these goals. And you're going to find that when you do this, just like what I found, it just makes the whole process so much easier to stick to, and your motivation will skyrocket. The third point is a really important one, which a lot of people overlook, and it's to get really good, high quality sleep. If you have bad sleep, either you didn't sleep enough or the quality of your sleep was poor, you're waking up and going to bed at different times throughout the day, every night, then you're going to find that you actually don't want to train as much. You're going to be more tired, you're just going to feel more groggy, you're probably going to have more brain fog, and overall you're going to have so much less energy to actually go and train. So it's just going to feel like an uphill battle to actually get yourself into the gym and to consistently keep training if your sleep is all over the place. And I've found that when I've had a really good solid night's sleep, I've got a sufficient amount of REM and deep sleep. Not only is this great for testosterone production and actually for muscle growth and recovery, but I just felt like the next day after getting really good sleep, I just really wanted to train. And it was actually harder to not train than it was to train, just because I had so much energy and I really wanted to put it into something. So this is a really key point. Make sure that you're staying off your screens late at night. Make sure you're getting sunlight and you're walking in the first 30 minutes after you wake up to really regulate your circadian rhythm and your melatonin production. And also just make sure that you've got blackout curtains, you're not having caffeine too late in the day, and everything like that, which is just going to really help improve the quality of your sleep. And you'll find that if you're currently struggling to hit the gym, a huge part of this is probably because you're not getting quality sleep. And once you fix this key process, working out is going to feel so much more natural, and it's just going to be something which you start to look forward to. So the next point is to train with a friend. And this is something which is just going to really improve your motivation, make the whole process more fun. If you think about going out for lunch and going out for dinner, it's so much more enjoyable if you go with a friend and with a group of people that you know than going by yourself. Because if you go by yourself, it's just going to be more boring and it's just going to kind of drag on. It's the exact same thing with going to the gym. If you have a friend there who you're with, who you can talk to in between sets, it just makes it so much more enjoyable. And you end up naturally pushing each other a lot more because of the competitive nature that we have. And overall, the workouts are just more productive. They're so much more fun. And there's things that you look forward to as well because you're pairing it up with social skills as well, where you're going and you're meeting your friends at the gym. And overall, the whole process just becomes so much more enjoyable. So if you can, try and find a friend, go to the same gym as him, and then try and work out with each other as much as possible. You're going to find that once you do this, the whole process of going to the gym is so much better. I found this personally that when you go to the same gym as your good friends and you see them there, overall you just want to stay in the gym a lot longer because you're socializing, because it's more fun, and you just want to be there a lot more. So this is a really key step. You're going to push yourself harder as well. It's just going to make the whole process really good. One other bonus point which I'll mention is just having caffeine beforehand and listening to music. These are two things which I've found personally has just really boosted my mood, my motivation, and my energy when I'm in the gym. If you've got caffeine beforehand, it's just going to be a massive performance enhancer. It's going to give you so much more energy. You're going to be able to push a lot harder, and overall, it's just going to lead to more productive workouts once you've had caffeine beforehand. And also, just listening to music, listening to your favorite playlist, found that this is a great way to actually improve your motivation so you can really dial in your focus, and overall, it just makes the workout so much more fun. And when you've got your best playlist playing that you really enjoy compared to just listening to whatever music is at the gym or not listening to music, I found that overall it's just so much more productive for some reason when you've got your music in, and it just makes you really want to push a lot harder. So that's going to be the video. I hope that you guys enjoy this one, and I hope that this helps you to kind of stick with your gym progress a lot more consistently by making it a lot more enjoyable.